Right. Congratulations, you've made it to the last chapter, mostly intact. Yes. Now, okay, so the last chapter now is statistics.
Last chapter in DISC forever, right?
The last maths chapter, yeah. There won't be any more topics to cover for the exam. Okay, so we're looking at statistics. So I can get that in nice. Shh, come on. And in particular, hey, stop talking when I'm talking. Types of data. So our first lesson, before we even look at anything like what you would have seen before, average, bar charts, pie charts, all this type of stuff, we just need to identify the different types of data that you can have. So firstly, your data can come in two main types. So we can have what's called quantitative That's one type of data, and then the other type is called qualitative. And just so you know, for your vocabulary, quantitative is also known as numerical. So it has this, it's the same meaning. And qualitative is also known as categorical. Why the difference? Well, I often find, for some reason, at middle and high school level, people tend to use numerical and categorical more, and then at higher level it's quantitative and qualitative, although they're the same thing. Okay, so they're the two main types. So maybe the other names help explain what they are. So you could probably figure out that the quantitative data, that's going to be the one that deals with numbers mostly, and then the qualitative one is going to be the one that deals with words. Although that's not like that definition wouldn't be good enough by itself, but just for what we would need to do in the exam, you just need to know that quantitative is numbers and qualitative is words. That's good enough. Okay, and then within each of those, there's two possibilities. So this is the number one. So you can have quantitative continuous or quantitative discrete. Very good. And then for qualitative, you can have ordinal and nominal. If I'm using capitals, I should stick to using capitals. And that's really the main possibilities we can have to describe our data. So I don't think there's much to say about quantitative and qualitative, because I think that one's pretty clear when something is a word and when something is a number. Mostly clear for most people. But what about the difference between continuous, discrete and ordinal, nominal? So let's start with this one. What's the difference between continuous and discrete? Okay. Well, let me check first. Would anybody know what is meant by continuous data or continuous?
Continuous.
Say again, yeah?
Continually to each other.
Not too bad actually, but not too good either.
Fraction numbers but discrete and just whole numbers.
Again, not too bad, but not quite there yet. Close. So continuous just means data that can be made as small as you like. So for example, 0.5, 0.05 and so on. No, but it's a bit more different than that. When we get to discrete, we'll see. So this is data that can be made as small as you like, e.g. 0.5, 0.05, 0.005, etc.
Small but not as big.
Yeah, in fact, it's more important that you can make it as small as you like, but it could be the case that there's a limit on how big you could make it. Yeah?
I didn't make this as small.
I was trying to keep it simplified, the English, but I want. Would you know the word arbitrary? No. Okay. So data that can be made as small as you like. In other words, you can. If I said to you, for example, that the first number was 2, and the next number was 5, and the next number is 6. You should be allowed to choose 2.5 or 2.005, that all small possibilities can actually happen, that none of them are impossible. So for example, height. Could someone be 1.5 meters tall? Yes. Could they be 1.55 meters tall? Yes. Could they be 1.555 meters tall? Yes. So you can make it as small as you like. Yes. That's what arbitrarily small means, but I didn't want to use the word arbitrarily small. Okay, so are we happy enough with continuous then? Makes sense? Now discrete, you said it could only be whole numbers, like 1, 2, 3. But in fact, to be a bit more accurate, it's data that can be only certain values. So your example you gave of 1, 2, 3 is discrete. However, if I said something like your shoe size could be 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5 as well. So it doesn't have to be whole numbers, it just has to be multiples. It can only be certain values. In other words, it's almost like the opposite of continuous, that you cannot make it as small as you like, that there's some limit.
What's the limit on this? What's the limit on this?
A half. You can't have shoe sizes smaller than multiples of half. I believe not anyways. Right?
No, you can't.
Can you?
You have 3/4.
Do you?
Huh?
Shoe sizes. Like, you cannot have like 5 and 3/4.
Alright, well then the smallest would be quarters then. Yeah?
I don't use like, use like 37 and 59.
Well, I can tell you, in Ireland, I've never seen a shoe for sale in 3/4 amounts. It's always just in halves.
UK or US.
I think it's a US thing, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Are we happy now with discrete? Yeah. Okay. Now it gets a bit more difficult. So what's ordinal? Well, we know it's words, but the different thing about this is data that has a natural size or order to it. So what does that mean? Well, firstly, ordinal is qualitative. So what type of data is qualitative? Words. So how could words have an order to them? Well, to give you an example, suppose in an Olympic race you were to look at what medals a particular country got. Or in the Olympics you were to look at what medals a country got. So what are the 3 medals they can get? Gold, silver and bronze. So that data is qualitative because it's words. A gold medal, a silver medal or a bronze medal. But that data has a natural order to it because gold is bigger than silver, which is bigger than bronze. So although it's words, it still has a natural order to it, a natural size to it. So medals would be one. What would be another example? Grades, yeah. A grade, B grade, C grade, D grade. Still words, but it has an order to it. Anything else? Let's see.
High school exams.
Huh?
High school, college.
Yep, that's good, yeah. High school, college, university, postgraduate, whatever. Yeah. So there's no numbers there, but they do have an order. And then the last one here, nominal, is data that has no natural order or size. So in other words, it's a name. Like for example, what is your eye color? What is your first name? What is the name of the school you're enrolled in? All these things, they have no size to them, really. You know, to say your eye color is this or that your name is this, it's not like that answer could be bigger or smaller than another answer you could have gotten. So there are the 4 main types: continuous, discrete, ordinal and nominal. Yeah, so all you have to do for this worksheet, and I think you can do all the questions now, is because all you have to do is look at each example I give you and tell me which of the 4 it is. You don't need to do number 4, you just need to do 1, 2 and 3. So number 1, I want you to tell me if it's qualitative or quantitative. Number 2, is it ordinal or nominal? And then number 3, is it continuous or discrete?